Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and then today I'm joined by an old friend we haven't talked to in quite a long time. We've got Mark again. How's it going, buddy?
I'm alive. Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Hi,
Welcome back to
yes.
myself, I guess. Hello.
Good to have you back. Good to have
Thank
you back.
It's good to be back. Been a little busy in life. Not gonna lie, kind of forgot that like there's an intro to this whole podcast. It was just like chatting it up, ready to go. Was like, oh yeah, no, we gotta actually start the podcast.
Yes, and that'll be for our pre-pod. Will be on to our subscribers. Our subscribers.
There you go. They're gonna get something good to see. That was a good time. That was a good conversation.
Good conversation.
Got a little chippy in there, so we'll get that.
Yes.
Really good.
But we are just you and me, Miguel. Miguel has a little bit of a change of shifts on his.
Miguel's too good for us. I get it.
So Miguel will be out for a week or two, and so eventually the three of us will be back again on a soon-to-be podcast. We'll see what happens.
Sounds good to me.
Today we're going to talk about players that we would love to see play in today's form of sport. Like an example would be if you wanted to see Babe Ruth play today against pitching today, like stuff like that.
I get that. Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Does he score as many points as he did then? Would he do it now? You know, that kind of a thing. We're going to talk about that. I also would like to get some of your top fives. We did a top five, me and Miguel, about top five teams we were looking forward to and top five players we're looking to.
Ooh, top five teams to watch.
Top five teams to watch. Top five players.
Eagles, Philadelphia team, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles from Philadelphia, and what's that team? The team, the green bird symbol, bird gang.
Eagles.
Oh yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Squawking Eagles. Let's go.
Yes. And then we'll discuss what you think. Which players we're going to watch too.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
So before we get started, if you want to follow us on Instagram, Squawk Eagles Podcast, and YouTube, the TikTok, we got a little account going over there. So yeah, follow us there. Also in TeePublic, you want some t-shirt merch, go over there, buy some t-shirts. They sell hats now, so you can buy hats too. Hats, t-shirts, mugs, magnets, wall art.
Sounds good.
A lot of stuff. So in Philadelphia Eagles news, we do have some news that has come out of the locker room, is that Lane Johnson is talking about how much vocal and I guess the leader quality is coming out of Jalen Hurts finally. That he's being more vocal in the locker room and that he's becoming more of a leader than he was even previous. So, what do you think? I think that's some good news to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I think after last season's debacle, I think in general we're tired of the stoicism. You know, it's one thing to it's nice to know when to bite your tongue and keep things private and calm, but as the quarterback of an NFL team, you kind of have to be a bit of a leader, typically. Kind of vocalize things in game, out of game, tell people how you're feeling, what's going on. So like hearing that he's kind of taking that role sounds like a good thing. I see that as an improvement. I can't see a bad thing coming out. I mean, now if he came and was like, hey, he's talking a lot of shit, making fun of all of us, but yeah, it's different. Coming out as a leader, that's a good thing. I love that. Let's keep it going, my guy. Let's continue to prove us Philadelphians wrong, but just how great you truly are.
Yeah, it's a really good thing. I think there are some talks too that after this season, if Jalen doesn't have the season that they were looking forward to, that they were going to quote unquote Carson Wentz him, as in like find some way to get his contract off the books and trade to another team. I don't know who put that out. I think it's
for too.
What's that?
I don't know who you'd go for.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
I stepped away from sports for a little bit, like not just the podcast. I stepped away from all sports, so like my memories also trash. But I'm like, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know a lot of like high end quarterbacks are going to be coming out next year in the draft. So it's like,
not many. You know, are they holding out for Arch Manning? No, I don't think they're going to hold out for Arch Manning.
you know, who's going to hold out for Arch Manning? The Giants.
The Giants are. Yeah, so that I think that's, you know, I think they put that story out about Lane Johnson is because maybe that kind of stories where they want to Carson Wentz him is out there, and I can think it kind of squishes that kind of conversation. So that's a good thing.
I mean, I think you don't just move on. Yeah, I think we have a lot going on. I think if anything's going to happen in the next year, if things don't go well, it'd be the coach. And then once the coach is gone, then you'd see a change in player because he's going to want to change things to fit his scheme. But I think right now, I think we're in a good spot. I think last year was a bit of a fluke, obviously, and I think we got a lot going on for us this year. I think we should be humbly optimistic.
Yeah. So we are now, I think, upon hitting the record button, we are 71 days away from opening day. 71 days. So, and also, if you haven't already found out, that August 1st is going to be the Eagles' public open practice at the link.
Good times.
Yeah, so tickets have been on sale. They are on sale now for $10 each. I think I got them. I think I got them last year. You went.
I went.
You went to it. I got the tickets for you to win. So maybe the three of us can maybe go this time. We'll see.
That'd be cool. August
1st. August 1st. Mark your calendars. Yep. So we're going to talk about that. What else? Yeah, so I think the Eagles in the offseason, Jason Kelsey is down at Seaside this weekend, starting the foundation, the Kelsey Foundation. They're pounding beers and giving out donations for everything under the sun. And nice. Boy, what a time they're having down there. It's a nonstop party down in Seattle.
What am I doing here then?
I don't know. We really should have scheduled something to go down there.
I think
watching the videos
right now for next year, like we should be there.
100%. We need to do that. 100%. I was driving down County Line Road the other day, and there's a fence store there called County Line Fence.
I was just there.
Okay,
I was there during that event.
Did you go?
Not on purpose, but yes.
Well, neither did I. I drove by and I saw Brandon Graham was going to be there. I saw Seth Joyner was going to be there.
We went there for the fence, honestly.
I went. I was going by.
What was going on?
No, I was making a shortcut through because I was in Montgomeryville. I had to cut across and go to Amazon Fresh, and there's Brandon Graham giving out autographs. I'm like, okay.
I was not there at the time. I was there, but not at the same time. So I just went there, looked at some fence, and left.
That's funny. So I drove home, got my Brandon Graham jersey, got back in line,
and he was gone.
Waited an hour, got my jersey signed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, met Brandon Graham, told him I'm Mike for the Squawking Eagles podcast. He was like, "Hey, yeah, all right."
Hell yeah.
Shook his hand, shook Seth Joyner's hand, got an autograph, and got out of there. Not bad for an hour and a half, I think it was.
That's not bad at all. I'm sure he was exhausted by all that.
Yeah, he was there from like 1 to 3. Yeah, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah. I don't envy the famous. My daughter was listening to something the other day. She started dance camp. They're doing like Taylor Swift stuff. They're showing all about Taylor Swift all the time. She's never been a Swiftie. Now suddenly she's like, I want to be Swiftie.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, I want to be like famous." I'm like, no, you don't. You want to be you want to be wealthy. You don't want to be famous.
No,
because like these people, they can't go anywhere without photos. So people bother them. Like, Brandon Graham's probably like, he's popular here, but if he were to go, if he goes to, Cancun, he could probably have a fine time.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of NFL players have a bit of luck in the fact their sport is so geolocate, like it's so stuck here that if they go overseas, it's not as much of a problem. But like she's going on about Taylor Swift. I'm like, you understand Taylor Swift can't go to like the ass end of the Congo without someone be like, Taylor Swift. Like, like you don't want that. Like I want you to be successful. I promise you don't want to be famous. I've seen it enough. Even small amounts of fame, it doesn't seem like it's worth it. I understand trying to be wealthy and rich and enjoy your life, but I think at that point it becomes that cost. And I feel bad. Like I think again, hopefully Brandon Graham enjoyed meeting all the fans. And obviously, I said, hopefully for him and other players, like they can, get out of the area a little bit, a little less famous, be able to enjoy life. But yeah, I can imagine it's a bit of pressure.
Yeah, it's like I was just looking up about Justin Bieber. He just sold his catalog of songs.
Oh, that always goes well. Yeah,
he sold the catalog of songs for like
yeah.
I think it was $156 million, give or
And when
take.
they start using his music on things he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Weird how that keeps happening and people don't seem to learn from it.
Can't do anything about it. But the thing is, though, his manager, I think his name was Scooter, he sold his company that put out the music for $40 billion.
Huh?
Yeah. And so it's like he was the manager. He wasn't the singer. He made more money selling the company than the guys making the music and putting his his life out there every single day.
Well, probably because anything that was unreleased is probably in that company.
Yeah. So
now whoever bought that now has access to all the unreleased stuff that Bieber and whoever else would have made. I'm sure there's probably other artists.
Yeah, there is other artists, but still, you don't want to be the guy. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
You know what I feel like right now? You'll get this reference. Maybe not everyone will. I feel like Dr. Evil in Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Like, I want $1 million, and everyone starts laughing at him, and someone kind of whispers to me, goes, "Huh, $1 billion." And nowadays, I feel like if you were to like be some evil genius threatening to blow up the world, and you say anything under like 100 billion, they're gonna laugh at you. Here you go, bud. Here's the check. Stop. What are you doing? What are you doing? And it's like, billions. I feel like I remember like hearing about the first billionaires in my life, and now it's like there's so many. There's so many. I remember as a kid being like, man, imagine being a millionaire. And it's like, bro,
imagine
to live, to own a home in town, you have to be a millionaire.
Yeah, you do.
I know more people I know are asset-based millionaires than people that I don't know for locally. If you own property in town, you're technically a millionaire. Like how?
Yeah, it's gotta get that land. Gotta get that land.
I was talking to my dad the other day when he was in town. I was like, I'm making more money today than my mother and my father made combined when they bought my house, my family house. I can't afford rent.
Yeah.
Like my buddy just looked at a house for rent in my neighborhood. They were like $2,000 a month. And he's like, all right, that's not too bad. And they said, but you have to prove that you make at least $2,000 a week.
A week?
A week. You have to prove you make $2,000 or more a week to qualify. And I was like, I'm sorry?
That's insane.
Did I miss something?
That's insane.
$2,000 a week. I was like, you're talking $96,000. You're figures short of 6 figures for a person. How is that the base to qualify for rent?
Yeah.
If you're making $96,000 a year, how are you not buying a home? The economy is a whack place right now.
It's whack.
It's painful. Like, I'm not kidding. I remember as a kid growing up playing the game of life.
Yeah.
I remember when you get your salary card, I always thought, if I got 20 or 30 grand, I was like, that's nothing. 40 or 50K, I was like, all right, that's, 60, 70, 80. I was like, all right, these are good numbers. 90, 100 are great. 60, 70, 80, like these are good numbers. You're going to buy any house you want. You're going to make them paydays. You're going to do great. You're going to win. You have a chance to win the game. 90 or 100, you're winning the game. There's no question asked. You're top dog.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like in real life, I feel like if I'm going to remake the game of life, like the base pay should be 40,000 and the top pay should be like $1 million. Because like without $1 million, you're not buying half those homes. Like I remember, I think the Victorian in that game was like 200,000. Like, oh, look at me, I'm bourgeois. I bought the Victorian home. It's like, no. Today you bought the shingles that fell off the Victorian home for that much money. That's about all you bought.
That's it.
Goodness gracious, this world's crazy.
Yeah. Moving on.
Back to Eagles.
Back to Eagles. All right, so let's do our players we want to see play in today's games. Since you're a hockey guy, let's start with hockey with you.
I mean, if I'm gonna stay local, I got to say local first.
Yeah, for sure.
Initial thought would obviously be Bernie Perrant. However, because I didn't get to ever see him play,
right,
I'd love to see Pelle Lindbergh play. That's a loss.
Lin-
That's a loss right there.
Limburg.
Yeah.
What
Lin-
now? What did he do? What did he do?
So he was a goalie after Perrant.
Right.
He was already being talked about. It's like one of those kind of like when Crosby came in the league, like, oh, he could be better than Gretzky. There was true belief that Lindbergh could have been better than Perrant. But then he drove his Porsche into a wall at like the age of 24 at like 130 miles an hour.
Yes.
So that ended his career and his life.
Yes.
So rest in peace, Lindbergh. That sucks. But I would have loved to be able to see that player play. See, like I said, I've seen Perrant play. If I got to see him play in person at the age of like 80,
right.
If I got to see him play, and I have all the tape. My mom's got all the tapes. I've seen tapes of Perrant play. Never got to see Lindbergh play.
No.
Obviously, never will.
No.
You know, I got to see Hextall play. Yeah. I got to see, in as much as it hurts as a Flyers fan, what I consider the greatest goalie to ever play the game, Martin Brodeur play. I stand on his head. I think to this day, he'd still dominate play. If you put him in his prime, he is going to make the rest of the goalies out there look bad.
You think Martin Brodeur is the greatest goalie of all time?
By a long shot.
What about the goalie from he was on the Colorado Avalanche?
Oh. Wah?
Yeah, Patrick Wah.
Wah was phenomenal, and every record he had got broken by Brodeur.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Brodeur's record list is as long as Gretzky's. If there was ever a player to be considered, talked about in the same breath as Gretzky in any sport, surprisingly, it's still hockey, and it's Brodeur.
Wow. Okay.
You look up the record list; it's disgusting. The amount of records he has for the things he's done, and they're never going to be broken. Like you're like, oh, they'll be broken. No, they won't. They're never going to be broken. The game's different. You know, people talk right now. That's why I always get in arguments with people about Tom Brady. I'm not saying Tom Brady wasn't great, but I'm saying his records can be broken, and it's not like a crazy thought that they might not be, or that they might be. It's like they not only could they be. I'm positive in my life they will be. The only one that might not be is the Super Bowls. Right. Every other passing record will get broken because of the way the game is being played.
Right. Agree.
You know, you look at the sport of like hockey. It's higher scoring, higher speed. Everything's faster. And yet no one will ever come close to Gretzky's all-points record. Right now, everyone's going crazy because Ovechkin's closing in on his scoring record. He still needs probably 2 seasons to get there, and he's getting older.
Yeah.
And the fact is that if you took Gretzky's goals away, he'd still be number one in points. Like, number one in points all time without a single goal scored. That's
insane, actually. That's pretty insane.
Yeah. You imagine that with like basketball. Like, oh yeah, if you took away every point you ever scored in basketball, you're still the number one point scorer? Huh? That would never be. That would never be. Never in any other sport.
Okay, so the leading scorer in basketball is LeBron James. Okay.
All time, right?
All time.
Okay.
All time. So I don't know the exact figure, but 3-pointers count towards your all-time points, correct?
I would think so, yeah.
Right. Okay. So in his lifetime, let's just say, for argument's sake, he's taken 500 3-pointers. Okay. So that's 1,500 points towards his all-time record, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the leader. He broke.
See that? I'm looking. I just pulled it up right now.
Okay. How many 3-pointers do you think Abdul-Jabbar took?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was second.
Well, he's second now.
No, he was second. He's third now. Michael Jordan was ahead of him. Oh, hold on. That was my apologies. I didn't realize the settings was in playoffs.
No, not playoffs.
Now we're in regular season.
Yeah,
you're right. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah,
he's in second. You're right.
Scroll over to how many 3-pointers he took to go towards his. Yes. Wow. How many, Mark? Mark? One. One 3-pointer.
He attempted 18. He made one.
Yeah, so that's 3 points out of all of his points were all 2-pointers or one.
That's crazy.
That is what is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, if you were to do, like I said, if you're doing like NHL all-time point leaders, Okay, let me pull this up. Most points career. Obviously, Gretzky we know is first.
Yeah.
Behind him, okay. Behind Gretzky is Jaromir Jagr, who played an ungodly long career. So much so that he played almost 300 more games than Gretzky.
Yeah.
In goals alone, he was 130 goals behind Gretzky.
Yeah.
And another 800 assists behind Gretzky in assists. Total points, 1,000-point difference in a shorter career.
Yeah. And he played on some amazing teams. He played with Mark Messier when he was with Edmonton. Him and Mark Messier and Paul Coffey on that team in Edmonton. Yeah.
Looks like the only active players even remotely on this list
is Ovechkin
and Crosby.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Crosby has, because this is the all-time points leader.
Right.
Crosby has 1,596 points. Ovechkin has 1,550. But in goals, which is where Ovechkin's closing in on him, Wayne Gretzky still leads by 41. 41 goals is an insane season. 20 is a pretty standard season for good players. So if Ovechkin plays 2 more, he will most likely pass Gretzky for most goals all time. But as I mentioned, that still doesn't come close to points because points total 1,550 to 2,857.
Yeah.
And they're closing in on the same amount of games. Gretzky played 1,487, so less than one more season than Ovechkin.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then let's see if I can pull it up here just because it's here. Let's see if I. There's skater records. Let's see if I can get some goalie records in here for you, just so I can show you
the difference between Patrick Waugh and Martin Brodeur.
Or just players, all goalies ever in general, really. Yeah. So Brodeur, okay, played 1,200 games.
Wow.
So Waugh was the first player ever with 500 wins.
Okay. He had
551 when he retired. Marc-Andre Fleury has passed him with 561 wins, 10 total more.
Wow.
And he's still playing a little bit. He's still playing.
Yeah.
Brodeur finished with 691 wins.
Oh, wow.
So 130 more than second place, whose, let's be honest, career is
winding down.
Coming to an end. Yeah, it's coming to an end. You know, that's just for wins in the regular season or career wins. Most wins in a season. Brodeur is tied for first because Braden Holtby surprisingly played an amazing amount of games in 1 year. They both have 48 wins. These won't be passed because goalies don't play 40 games a year anymore.
No.
I personally think that's actually a problem. I've been talking to people about it a lot recently. I've been saying that, I think one of the hardest things about hockey, particularly, for goalies, is consistency. It's a mental game because it's a different part of the sport. And I think the constant rotation of goalies anymore, because it's resting them, it's keeping them healthier. I don't think it is. I think mentally it's messing with them. You let up 2 or 3 goals, you get pulled to have someone else come in. You didn't finish that game. You're mentally messed up. And the next game, they don't play you again. You're not even getting back on your horse. Right. Then you've now rested 3-4 days. I can guarantee you any player takes 3-4 days off their sport, they don't feel as good.
Right.
You look at pitchers all the time. Pitchers constantly, that's why pitchers like to be in the rotation. They don't like taking the breaks because they need it for their arm because they're doing, that's a whole different style of sport.
Yeah.
All those throws, but you don't, you want to keep going. Like batters aren't going to I'm just going to take this week off from batting, guys. That's not going to help your batting average.
No.
And I think that's hurting a lot of goalies, the amount of times that they're, not playing.
Well, I've got a baseball record to talk to you about.
Let's hear it.
Ricky Henderson has 1,406 stolen career bases. Okay. So he did that over a course of 24 years, I believe. And so last year, the highest most stolen bases was Ronald Acuna with 73. Now,
Okay.
he got hurt this year. So in order for him to beat that record, he would have to average, I think, 70 stolen bases over the next 15 years. Never going to happen.
No, that's insane.
So here's an average. So if you were drafted and you started playing your first game as a Major League Baseball player, and you averaged 60 stolen bases every year for 24 years, okay, you'd have to average 60 every single year.
Yeah.
You still would be in second place because that doesn't beat Ricky Henderson's number at 1406.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? For 24 years, you have to be consistently stealing 60 bases. So that's a player I would love to see in today's game because nobody steals bases anymore. Ricky Henderson did that as a living.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You got me thinking now.
Uh-huh.
To pass Gretzky.
Yeah.
How many years did you say? What was the number you
would need? It was 24 years.
24 years with how many stolen bases a game?
60 a year.
Oh, 60 a year. So a little less than one a game.
Well, yeah, because there's 162 games.
If you scored a point a game in the NHL, 1 point a game, an assist or a goal counts for anyone who doesn't know the NHL,
right? You
would need to play for 34.8 seasons.
Wow.
To pass. You think about how many people score a goal or an assist. It's just not common.
No, nobody does that.
Your best scorers maybe score a goal every other game.
Yeah.
If they're really good, you get playmakers. You get players who are going to earn more than a point a game. There's players who earn 100 points a season. It does happen.
Right.
But you have to consistently do that for, I guess 82 would be 34 years. So 100, you're still looking somewhere around like the mid-20s. You have to come in. Most players start at 19, 20 years old. Most players retire by like 34.
Yeah.
So you need to play late like Yager does. You got to stay healthy. Don't miss a game and just be a monster. You still probably won't do it. Some people make some crazy record. You know what's another record that's crazy? We're going to go football in this one.
Yeah.
There's a few records out there that I just love. Okay. I'm drawing a blank on the same. Hold on one second. Let me get this.
What's the record?
It's I think we've talked about it before. It's the receiver from the Cardinals in the past.
Larry Fitzgerald
has more tackles
than
he does drop passes.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
As much as I hate, I know I talked about this before. Zach Martin on the Cowboys has more Pro Bowls than he does holdings.
Yeah.
There's some crazy records out there.
That is a crazy record.
Crazy records out there.
Yeah. That Ricky Henderson, I would love to see play nowadays in baseball as a batter. Pitchers for baseball, I would love to see like
Pete Rose.
Yeah. What's that?
Pete Rose.
Oh, Pete Rose. Yeah, Pete Rose.
To see him in the Hall of Fame would be nice.
I'll just put him in the Hall of Fame. At this point, my new favorite quote from Pete Rose is, "I wish I had a translator when I got caught."
No, I would love to see. I mentioned this before. I'll talk about it now. I was an Eagles fan.
Yeah,
cannot say Dawkins.
Dawkins is a great. Yeah,
he'd still be a monster today. He'd probably get a little more penalties thrown his way for his hits because now the league's a bit softer.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him play. I
also love to see Jim Brown play in today's game.
It's funny you said that because I was going to say Ernie Davis.
Well, same.
I know he didn't really get to play. That kind of ended his career real early in life, which sucks. But there's some cool players I see. I'd like to. I'm drawing blanking. He just died. I know it's terrible to talk about, but I'd like to see how he'd play in this day and age. White Bronco, Murder Man.
Oh, OJ.
Yeah. Why not? Right?
Yeah. Love to see the juice go.
I know it's going to be a little bit of hate. I'd like to see Emmitt Smith play today.
I would like that too because I don't think he'd be as successful nowadays as if he was back then.
I think with that same team, he might be. But
Yeah.
you have to remember, though, and this is something I saw the other day, was that if you were to rate all the teams all time on a popularity standard, right? Because right now, obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs are the most popular team. We're not stupid. Yeah. Bandwagon fans are bandwagon fans. Not saying all Kansas City Chiefs, mind you, out there, I'm not saying all Kansas City Chiefs fans are bandwagon fans. I know there's a lot of you who are diehard fans. I get it. I'm saying is when your team rises to the cream of the crop, you're going to have the bandwagons jump on. Overall, your two biggest fan bases are going to be the Niners and the Cowboys.
Right.
And we're going, oh, well, look at all our rings. We're champions. We're so good. Yeah, you played. The only times you ever won jack shit is before we had salary caps. You bought your wins. Now you can't do that anymore. And you guys just for some reason can't quite seem to get past that. Yeah, where's that San Fran Super Bowl this year? Did they win this year?
No.
No, they didn't. And we them boys, they won, right? They won.
They in their mind they always do.
I forgot they haven't won. They haven't won since I was a child. But
90,
the Eagles
95, right? 95.
The Eagles won with Chip's team. It's just we didn't have to do salary cap, man. We didn't have to deal with not having that. We had to deal with the numbers.
Yeah.
We won. And that's why I will say, you know what? As much as I don't like Mahomes, I like to hate on Kansas City, just like I did with Tom Brady and the Patriots. If you can build a team under budget that performs well, good on you. That's why you're doing well. Little transition here. Not that I want to get away from anything in the past yet, but you mentioned earlier about teams you want to watch.
Yeah, we could do that.
How about them Jaguars who just made Trevor Lawrence the highest paid quarterback? Are you trying to lose?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not as hating on him as I used to be. I'm not saying he's not a decent quarterback, but you're going to invest that much money in one player.
Well,
you guys saw how it was about Hurts.
I know. But is that a team you're going to watch this year?
No.
Jacksonville Jaguars?
Just saying, like, you want to see a team that's going to fall apart in the next year or two.
Yeah.
Financially speaking, at least. Imagine they get together next year after the season and they decide, you know what? It's getting out of hand. Cut the salary cap by $20 million. Don't increase it. Oh, the shock that would do to all the teams with their high-paid quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I would revel in. We should do that. Why not? Just cut everyone's salary. Yeah, you know what? The NFL, y'all make enough.
Yeah.
You know what?
The NFL just lost a lawsuit. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I know. Am I going to see a penny out of that?
Are you going? Their lawsuit was for the
$4.5 billion or something like that.
$4.7 billion.
And how much that's coming to my pocket?
They say, I think it's like they owe bars. What is it? They owe bars and they owe the fans. I think 12 million for the fans and the rest to bars or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
12 million to the fans.
Yeah. So you're going to see some money if you bought into it, right? Didn't you buy the ticket?
Every year for the past 4 years.
Yeah. You're going to see some money though.
What's
going to lead to? I heard that's what's going to lead to is that.
So wait a second. You said 12 million, right? For the people.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what I read.
So 12 million. There's currently 2.4 million subscribers, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at $5 a person.
Most likely, it's not going to be.
Let's go! What a great!
It's not going to be a lot of money. It's not going to be a lot of money.
But the other billions are going to the bars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gonna. It's not going to be as much.
I used to own a bar. It went under business. I need those millions, my guys. Because I don't know if you ever do the math. I don't know if you ever knew this math. I've talked to people before about this math. Okay, I might have told you guys this math. Do you know if I were to give you $5,000 every single day, right?
Yeah.
And it was not taxed. You didn't spend a penny of it. You know how long it would take for you to be a millionaire?
How long?
200 days.
That's it.
That's it. That's all it would take. If I did the same thing, you know how long it would take to be a billionaire?
How many?
547.9 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
A lot of people don't know the difference between a billion and a million because the numbers, the exponential growth of numbers doesn't compute to most humans,
right?
Because we don't see things in numbers that size. A million is a lot. It's million is a drastic amount for humans, but we're starting to understand it because of our economy. Billion, no one understands billions. Billions, we hear the name, we hear the word, we think, okay, they're richer than rich. No, they're beyond richer than rich. If you can spend $1 billion, not on investments, just in general, I think you'd blow people's minds. It's so much money.
Yeah. So here's the breakdown. The breakdown is 96 million to commercial class damages and 4 billion to residential.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah. So that's going to be you're going to get something. Not going to be a lot, but it's going to be something.
Let's find out. If everyone got an equal amount, it'd be about $1,600.
Oh,
but that's if we're just going off like today's subscribers. Obviously,
right. It's people in the past who've ever had it, right?
So so
if you had it
around like $80, $120. Maybe you'll get a free year of Sunday Ticket. Which, thinking about it, I just want to bring this up real quick. I got an email from YouTube the other day. Right, I have YouTube TV.
Yeah,
but reminding me that if I don't cancel it, I'm going to auto renew my Sunday Ticket on August 5th when the renewal goes. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I saw the price. I saw an ad on the TV at the same moment for Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV, and it was cheaper. And I was like, hold on. I'm under no contract with YouTube TV. That's the beauty of it. I could cancel it right now. I could sign up for it the same moment and get it cheaper.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's trying to entice new subscribers.
No. See, I get it, but I also hate it. I think business models are like, they're broken. It's a greedy, broken system. What happened to like rewarding your loyal, fan base? Your like things should be, in my opinion, like if I was still like into streaming, and I never got big, that would be something I'd like want to work out with. Be like, hey, if you've been a subscriber, now it's cheaper. You don't need to pay $5. You can pay $3. Right. You've been a subscriber for me for 2 years. Thank you so much for it. Now it's $4. You've been a subscriber for 4 years. Now it's $3. You've been a subscriber for 6 years. Now it's $2. Like, let me lower the price to reward you for all your support. That's crazy to me that you would support me like that. Let me make this easier on you as a reward for being here. No. You've been here for a year. Guess what, boy? Price is going up.
Yeah.
That's so insane to me. That's insane. This is why the economy's messed up. Things like this, everything's pricey. You saw that Warner Brothers and Disney are in talks of rebuilding a package system to get all your TV and all your streaming services in one bundle. It's called cable.
I know. It's all backwards. It's all backwards. It's all backwards.
That's like, I saw a thing the other day. I don't know if you're familiar with this. There are a bunch of different species of crabs out there, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't related.
Right.
And the funny thing is that in nature, there's been this whole study is that in like biology is that if you keep trying to do different things, you end up with a crab.
Right.
In the world of humans and the world of transportation, we have AI right now, right? Everyone's building all these AI computers, all these AI. So they're thinking, hey, you know what we're going to do? Let's use AI to help solve traffic congestion. What can we do to make things better? Every solution from mankind, from computers, from these supercomputers, comes back to the same thing. Trains. And crab. Trains. Every solution is trains. Just like every solution in the animal kingdom becomes crabs. It's a weird phenomena. I learned about it very recently. I can't go into depth about it because I don't know it very well. But I was reading a whole thing about how it's like there's all these different things that went into making crabs, and like there's so many species of crabs that aren't related because it's like nature kept trying to make something happen and they just kept making crabs. And so humans were like, hey, we're gonna make new ways of travel, and so they made trains. And then they thought, we're gonna make cars that go together, and they made more trains. They're like, oh, let's do something like Subway. Well, that's just another train. And every time they try to do something different, the Hyperloop is just a more advanced train. The bullet train is a more advanced train. Everything just goes back to trains. And it's like every different instance we have of this, and now we're having the same thing here.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah, I hear you. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's just it's recycling. It's recycling.
That's why I was listening to an interview the other day. One of my favorite authors, Orson Scott Card. I love sci-fi. I've got most of his books somewhere on one of these shelves. Some people, I understand that might offend some people. Some people do not like him. My apologies. I think his books are great. So I don't actually apologize. But he was saying something is that like him and all the other authors that are currently respected as like great sci-fi authors. He's like, what's really crazy is the authors from like the 20s and the 30s. He's like, because they actually invented all the tropes we use today.
Right.
None of us have to invent these tropes. We go shopping from their storylines to create faster than light travel, wormholes, mystical powers. Like, this was all invented by other greater minds than ours.
No original content.
Yeah, that's how it all is everywhere now. Nothing's original.
No.
Everything's recycled. And it's just, you wonder how much technology is hurting us.
It's, that's like a whole other podcast about technology hurting us. That's a whole different thing. It's not, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I
got a book somewhere behind me. It's a poetry book. It's got some really good poems. They're all like epic poems. They're long, enjoyable poems. My grandfather used to just be able to he'd start a conversation with you, people be talking, and he would just start trailing off. And you're like, what's going on? He would just be reciting the poems, and we'd all stop and listen. He'd recite the entire poem from start to finish. And I mean, I literally have one. I have the book here. I think it's like a 30-page poem.
Right.
And it's not like it's like print this big. We're talking, 12-point font. That's a long thing to memorize.
Right.
And people nowadays don't even remember phone numbers. I used to have my phone number memorized, and 4 of my best friends' phone numbers memorized. My mom's phone number memorized. Like I could just call anything I needed to, and I can remember my number.
Right. I can remember mine. I remember my home phone number, my brother's, but that's about it. I don't remember anybody else's.
Yeah, it's gone. It's like we get so used to having instant access to things.
Yeah.
That we forget things.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Let's see. Are there any basketball? You're not really. I know you're not a big basketball.
No, but I've got some basketball players. AI right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see him play still. There's something about me. I think the thing is that we had basketball as it was, right?
Right.
I think AI and probably a few other players who I apologize because I don't know the sport that well came into the league as more of a street baller.
Stephon Marbury was one guy.
They had like that. They kind of like that attitude with them. They played
a different game,
an edge, and it was nasty, but it was awesome to see. And that kind of grew to the whole and one. I'm sure you remember the and one movement, all the street ball competitions, and then that faded away. None of that got back into the league anymore. That kind of went away. And now the league is all threes are for me, or I'm not going to try, and I'm going to take breaks, and I don't play defense. And man, I'm so tired of all that. Give me some players. Bring back Kobe. Rest in peace. Bring back AI. Bring back the players who are going to actually fight every game to win. Yeah. I miss that. I'd love to. So yeah, you want to see basketball? I want to see AI play in today's market. I want to see. I'll see Larry Bird play in today's market. Why not?
Yeah, that'd be cool too. Will Chamberlain would be interesting to see. They're trying to push Wembley as if he was Will Chamberlain because he kind of looks a little lengthy like him, but I don't think it's going to be the same as Will Chamberlain. I don't think anybody can be the same as Will Chamberlain.
No, I think that's the thing is I think we get so caught up on looking at our greats. We want to see the greats and the kids, and I think sometimes you just gotta let it go. We gotta see the players for who they are. Because like I was saying earlier about I don't know if Deion Sanders could match up against Justin Jefferson. I just don't know.
Right.
But you know what? I don't need to compare that because he went up against great players at his time, and we got great corners like Sauce going up against Jefferson at our time. Right. I think too often we try to compare, and I think comparisons hurt people. I think you try to look at things, and sometimes you miss. Yeah. Because look at all those stats that people throw around with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones putting up the same numbers as 2 or 3 other starters in the league that people are happy with. And but we compare him to the winning ways of the Mannings and the other players around. It just happens that he happens to be in a division that's just It's got us.
Yes.
Kind of good at the moment. And even though I don't like the Cowboys, they tend to win a little more often, and their team's a bit struggling. I don't think many quarterbacks are going to go to New York and play well. Who are you going to throw to? Who are you going to play with? Who's going to protect you? There's nobody there. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So we compare him. He looks bad.
It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword sometimes when you follow a great player, like Eli Manning, and a name like that. You got to live up to what he was, and that's kind of difficult to do.
And even when you're doing a good job statistically, he doesn't look the part. Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
The look test, man. It's crazy how much people like. And we did it last year. I mean, look at us as Eagles fans. Like, we were looking so good, and then we started falling apart. And people started blaming Hurts. People started blaming. I stood on my ground the whole time, blaming the crayon launcher who's gone.
Yeah, it was definitely probably his problem.
But like, we get into these habits of just trying to blame people, and we tear people down, especially like before they can even show themselves. Like I was saying, was a kid Rosen, the UCLA quarterback,
Josh Rosen.
Yeah, got drafted by the Cardinals?
Cardinals.
Horrendously. And they're like, all right, we're going to trade you. He went to the Dolphins. He had no chance. The Dolphins didn't have anyone back then.
Yeah.
He never actually had a chance to play. I'm not saying he would have been good, would have been great.
Yeah, he went to a lot of teams.
On some bad teams, you're not going to get. Look at Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold came out, went to the Jets.
Yep.
That didn't go well. The Jets weren't good. So he went down to Carolina. The Carolina's a joke. They lost everybody.
Yeah.
Now
he spent a year in San Francisco. And now he's in Minnesota. He looks like he's going to beat out your buddy, J.J. McCarthy.
That wouldn't surprise me. But you know what? Look at what opportunities in front of him now, though. Yeah. You got Jordan Addison. You got J.J. You got like a decent running back. You got an O-line. Like, he actually has a potential to be like, hey, look, maybe I can be a quarterback. I don't know. Well, now we'll know. Now we might actually know.
Yeah.
Is Sam Darnold just a straight bust? Or was he just given a bad set of hands in a row?
Yeah.
This might be his season to prove it. Not saying he will, but saying he has an opportunity.
He definitely has an opportunity to outplay McCarthy and get that starting role.
Got me thinking, because we just talked about Carolina. You know another player I'd love to see play in today's NFL?
Who's that?
Ryan Urlacher.
Ooh.
And I'll for anyone out there that's confused, I'll make the connection for you right now. Luke Kuechly is one of my favorite linebackers of all time.
Who played for the Panthers.
Who played for Carolina. Retired early, and it got me thinking about linebackers. Urlacher is an old school linebacker. We don't have a lot of those old school style linebackers. It'd be interesting to see how he would play in today's football.
Yeah. I was just reading an article, watching something, I think, about how overrated TJ Watt is. He's not as great as everybody says he is. But
interesting.
That was a good one. I'll have to repost that to you.
Yeah, I'll be interesting to read. That's how I always felt about the what are their names? The brothers, the Chargers and San Fran.
Bosa's.
They came out of Ohio State, so I just naturally hated them. always will. Ohio State sucked. Hey, anyone out there, if you're a young kid going into college football and you go play for Ohio State, guess what? I don't care how good you are. I will never like you. I will never. No.
You're telling me that's going to be different now? It's not going to be different now? That who's going to be coaching there?
No.
It's not going to be different?
No. Ohio State sucks. Fuck Ohio State.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No. I don't do that. I don't flop, my guy.
Okay.
I have been the same fan base my whole life for every sport I cheer. I've given passes to teams in the namesake of the player. Like, I love the Ducks. You guys know this. So I cheer for Herbert and the Chargers when they're playing other teams because, hey, I'd like to see them do it. Plus, it doesn't hurt to see the chance to see the Chiefs lose.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll cheer for Herbert. I want to see him do well. If somehow the Chargers and the Eagles make the Super Bowl, guess what? Herbert, nice knowing you, my guy. Eagles all the way. Let's go Birds. I don't flip flop. No. I'm not. If he ends up playing for Dallas, guess what? Sorry, bud. I gave you your support.
Wash my hands. I gave
you your support. I ain't doing it anymore. Okay.
Right.
I'm always going to be that way.
Yeah.
I like our team right now. I like DeAndre Swift. Okay, I liked him coming out of high school. Liked him in college. I liked him, for the Lions. Loved him here for the Eagles. Now in Chicago, I'm like, it kind of sucks. If somehow he ends up on like Dallas or the Giants, guess what? What's his name? Saquon. When he got drafted, literally was like, I don't care.
Don't care.
Giants, I don't care. He sucks. His team sucks. I don't want him. I don't care. Now he's here. I'm like, all right, guy. He's a bit older, but
Can't wait.
He's Saquon. We'll see how he turns out because he's an Eagle now.
He's an Eagle.
But yeah, you go to those other teams, man. There's those few couple I give passes. The rest of the way, but I'm not going to support Ohio State because some coach that I like happened to go there. That was his mistake. He's an idiot. That's his biggest fault. Look, people say he made some mistakes here. No. His biggest mistake was going to Ohio State.
Wow.
That's his biggest mistake.
Wow.
Coffin in. Nail in the coffin with that one.
Mark his words. Mark's words right now.
Correct.
Today.
I'm not cheering for Ohio State. You'll catch me dead before I cheer for Ohio State, my guy. I'm not cheering for Ohio State. I'm not cheering for Bama. I'm not cheering for Florida. Those are like the three schools I hate more than anyone else out there. Obviously, Oregon State's up there.
Right.
I should stop cursing on this podcast, but Oregon State can
have you back, Mark.
Y'all going to keep losing that Civil War for the rest of my life. I know you've won it once or twice, but we're done that. The Ducks are going to win it. They've got a phenomenal coaching staff. I think they're going to shock the Big Ten this year. I can't wait for college football. They play Ohio State this year.
Exciting.
They play Michigan this year.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a big season. This is a big season for them.
Big season for all of college football. It's gonna be an insane, bigger playoff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be nuts. And the game's back. Although EA decided to again scrub half their fan base away and say we're not gonna make it for a computer. So you got to buy one of the new consoles. I'm like, I'm poor.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be playing that game. Sorry,
makes me upset. But
so real quick, I know we've gone a little bit longer than we thought we were going to go. Top 5 teams you want to watch this year?
Eagles
number 1.
Always. Texans, honestly.
Texans, yes.
Or are they a Cinderella story, one and done, or is this going to continue? Will they be something to watch?
It's a good question.
Chargers, I got to see what Harbaugh is going to do with that team. They've got nobody left except Herbert. They lost their running back. They lost their receivers. I got to see what's happening. Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, Miami should be a firehouse team again. A little fireball going on there. They're going to be fast if they're not faster than ever, which is insane to think. Should be interesting to see how they come out this year. And Detroit, because I think they're actually our biggest rival this year when it comes to chances to make the Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay. That's
what I said, Fran. You suck.
So Miguel's was, I don't know if you listened to it, but Miguel's was
stupid.
Kansas City, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Houston Texans, and New York Jets.
I don't know Miguel anymore. Guy's a Kansas City fan. Guy's a Jaguars fan. Hold on, you're gonna put anybody above the Eagles?
You're not gonna like mine then.
Oh God. Bro, what are you guys doing? We're the Squawking Eagles podcast. Your first thing you want to watch isn't the Eagles. What are you?
No, just top 5. Like
top 5 team to watch. If you say right now, hey, I got tickets to every NFL game the year.
Yeah.
You got to go. Top 5 games you'd want to go to. If your first game is in the Eagles game,
it is.
Then how is that not the top team you want to watch?
I think top. Well, it's just okay. So
I'm ready.
You're gonna hate. I swear
if you say the Cowboys, I'm gonna drive to your house right now.
No. It's my top 1 is San Francisco.
I want to burn your house down. I'm gonna burn your house. Oh my God.
Second one is the Chiefs.
I hate everything about this right now.
Number 3 is the Lions. Number 4 is Baltimore. Number 5 is Cincinnati. And the Eagles are 6 coming like creeping up on the.
Hold on. Everyone out there who listens to this podcast, please get in these comments. Tell these two knuckleheads that they're absolutely wrong. The number 1 team you should want to watch as an Eagles fan is the Eagles. I don't care. There's other teams you want to see. Awesome. That's number 2 through 5.
Right.
The Eagles are the number 1 team you want to watch, or you're not an Eagles fan. That's just how it is.
That's how it is. But
not for you guys.
No, it's not. Apparently not.
Jags fan, Colts fan, Chiefs fan, clearly. Niners,
clearly.
Like bro, that meme went around. Brother. I literally, I want to drink my water. I feel like I'm gonna throw up my mouth listening to YouTube. The list from YouTube, absolutely disgusting.
Oh man.
You know what? I no longer apologize for missing the weeks I've missed. That's disgusting. This isn't even an Eagles podcast anymore. I should start my own after hearing lists like that.
Oh, it's been great to have you back here, Mark.
Eagles all day, every day.
Little can cooler there. You got a can cozy there.
Yeah, Father's Day gift. It's just a full size like beer can becomes a water bottle. That's amazing.
You can't beat that.
I love this thing. Is amazing. This thing keeps my water cold all day, and it supports the only team I want to watch all day. Right. It's almost like I'm a fan of the Eagles.
Almost a fan, almost. So, off the top of your head, do you have 5 players you'd like to watch this season?
I mean, do I need to? I feel like the list is going to be crazy. Like if I was number one, would say Jalen Hurts because of what happened at the end of last season. I feel like neither of you probably even have him on your top 5. You probably have, Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers and what's his face out of the little silly face out of San Fran because he's such a good quarterback. That's your guys' list.
Well, you did mention a few, but I'll tell you.
I did. I'll give you my list. I'm going to give you my list. Okay.
I'll hear your list.
Hurts first and foremost. Okay. Jalen Hurts first and foremost because we got to see how he recovers from last year's abysmal ending this season. Yes. Okay. Number 2. I'm gonna say only because he's going to get more playing time than the other. Nolan Smith. I think he's a secret weapon this year. If he can step it up, I think he's going to. I really do. I'm really pulling for him. I was going to say Nakobe Dean, but as much as I want to see him play, I don't know if he will as much this year because we got those other linebackers coming in. I'll have to see how that goes because I think he's smart. I think he's got a lot in him. Yeah. I know Nolan Smith at number 2. I could just go all Eagles here. I could literally just say Cam Jurgens. I got to see how he's going to do. How are we going to have this replacement here at center? What's going to happen here?
This is your top 5 Eagles to watch. This
top 5 players. No. I don't care about the rest of the league, my guy. That's my point. Like, I care about the Eagles. If you want, I'll give you a list of top 5 players I would watch outside of the Eagles, willing to do that. But I'm going to specify that because my top 5 players to watch are Eagles players.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to see how Devontae plays with his new contract and A.J. Brown plays his new contract. I want to see how Saquon plays with a new team, with an O-line. I want to see how these players play because they're my team.
That's 5. That's your 5 right there.
I got him there for you, my guy. If you want to see 5, I'll give you, though. I'll give you 5 players to watch outside of the Eagles if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. We could. Okay. No, I'm looking for a top 5. Are those your top 5 you're looking for? Fine.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're saying top 5 players in the league, I'm going to name Eagles players because I'm watching the Eagles. Okay. If you want to say top 5 players outside of the Eagles, I have those too.
Let's do outside the Eagles just for you, Mark. Just for you outside of the Eagles.
Outside of the Eagles. Okay. I got to say, and again, this is going to continue to poison my throat, CJ Stroud. I got to see how he plays this year. I do. I was last year a fluke.
Yeah.
Is he actually going to set it up a little more? Obviously, you know who I am. I'm going to say Herbert.
Right.
What is he going to do?
Because he got hurt.
Player who's not because he has got hurt. You're talking about a player who statistically is just putting up numbers that make no sense when he has nobody around him. Now he has less people around him. He's got Quentin Dropston as his leading receiver. How's he going to play? How's that whole team going to play? If he starts Sam Darnold, I got to see it. You got Justin Jefferson. And we just talked about a second ago about this is your year.
Yeah.
I got to see it. I'm going to be a little bit selfish here for a moment, a little duck happy. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got friends in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I get news stories sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
The headlines and the stories and the articles coming out of Denver seem to all be in belief that Bo Nix might have been the steal of the draft.
Oh, really?
They are saying he is on point. He is just every play you want him to make, he's making it. He's reading it. He's got connections with his receivers. He's reading the defensive coverages. He's doing what he should do. Granted, I kind of expect Sean Payton to kind of want everyone to talk about his quarterback. I feel that's the kind of coach he is. So maybe don't buy into it. a Duck fan, but I got to see it. I got to see that. Is he actually going to be that good?
Yeah.
All right. So there's 4 out of your top 5, right?
Yeah. And they're all quarterbacks too.
They're all quarterbacks because this is a quarterback league. You know this.
Right.
Last but not least, the one we all wanted to see last year and didn't see. Rodgers. Are you gonna play a whole season? Are you gonna play it all this season?
Right. Right, because he's MIA for his mandatory camp. He didn't show up.
He's kind of like Hassan Reddick out there in
Japan. Yeah, he's cosplaying out in Japan right now. Do you want to even hear what Miguel and my top 5s are?
Go ahead. I'm gonna throw rocks at you, but go ahead.
So Miguel's number 1. He's Blake Corum, the running back from Michigan. Number 2,
number 1 player.
Yeah, he's excited to see about how that guy goes, how that guy rolls.
Where is he playing?
I don't remember. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, I know you answered my question already.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Go ahead.
Number 2 for him is Aaron Rodgers.
Number
3 is Saquon and Isaiah Rodgers together. How they're going to work on the Eagles. His number 4 is Xavier Worthy. And number 5, Michael Penix.
Oh my God, Miguel. Bro, of those 5,
yeah,
I think Rodgers is the only one there. I mean, you might hear a little bit of Corum. He's going to the Rams. I checked it.
Okay, Rams.
But I mean, look, Penix not going to play. Xavier Worthy is overhyped for his speed. He's not actually going to be a player. That's not a thing. That's just, oh my God. Miguel, what are you doing?
All right. So
if you say Dak
never
or anyone from the Cowboys or the Niners, I'm gonna throw a rock at you.
No. So mine was number 1 is Saquon Barkley. I'm excited to watch him and see what him.
We got an Eagle.
Wow. Number 2 is CJ Stroud. Like you said, if he's going to be the Cinderella again. Number 3 is Caleb Williams. I kind of want to see what he's going to do. Nothing. Number 4 is Justin Fields. Is he going to be a returner or kickoff? I would love to see that happen.
I like the idea of it, but he's not going to. Even with the idea of the new system, he ain't going to do it.
Yeah. And number 5, Michael Penix as well. During that whole podcast, we talked about how Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins it's mirroring Any Given Sunday with Dennis Quaid and Jimmy Fox. Yeah.
Look, I said it. I'm just gonna still hype on Penix. I still think he's the best quarterback of the draft. I think career-wise, if he doesn't get injured, I think he has a chance to be the best quarterback of the draft and prove it over the years. However, I don't think he starts this year, which might be a good thing for him.
Right.
I think that's the biggest problem going to be for every rookie quarterback that came out. Caleb Williams should not be starting. He is emotionally not ready. JJ McCarthy's not even a quarterback. Like, these players are not in good spots, man. You know why Aaron Rodgers is so good? What happened when Aaron Rodgers was drafted? Where did he go?
Green Bay.
Okay, did he start?
No, not for years.
Yeah, who played?
Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre.
It's almost like we've seen the success of the past. What happened in New England? They had Brady. They drafted Garoppolo to replace him.
Yeah.
Brady said, get him gone. So they did. Then he bailed. They had no one there. No one there to play and learn from him. No one could do it.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a proven thing that if you get someone who's really good playing for you, you draft someone who has really good potential and have them just sit their ass on the bench and learn. You get better. I honestly was pretty hyped for what's his face? Jets former quarterback last year who had to play anyway. The kid.
Zach Wilson.
I really was like, Zach Wilson in 2 years might be the household name you want. thinking he would be sitting, watching, and learning from Rodgers.
Right.
I think if he had, his career blossoms.
Different trajectory.
I think suddenly you go in 2 years' time. I think you're looking at 2026 going, all right, so the Jets are coming in with Zach Wilson back at quarterback after a few years of him being backup. What's going to happen? And that season's going to happen. They're like, oh my God, where did Zach Wilson come from? Like, who is this kid? This isn't the same kid. No, he matured and learned from a great. But then he said, I'm still immature and off. So
yeah,
that ended. And now, now it's going to happen when Rodgers gets hurt or decides to retire next year. The Jets are going to have to draft somebody, have someone else in the wings who just has no years of experience, hasn't learned from anybody, and it's going to be continued. The Jets are going to Jets. Okay, I got a buddy who's a Dolphins fan who's going to say the same thing all the time. The Jets are going to Jets.
Yeah,
they're going to fall apart. They always do.
Most likely. A side note: just watching highlights here. Bryce Harper just got injured, pulled a hamstring. It looks like not good for the Eagles. Phillies, I mean. Not good. When they get messages saying that Bryce Harper's hurt, I don't know how long he's going to be gone for.
If it's just a pulled hammy, nice
hopefully a little massage, a little heat.
It's baseball. If there's any sport that you could take, I mean, look, earlier I was saying don't take games off. I hate it. But 160 game season, Harper, take a week off, rest up, heal up, come back and smack that ball.
Hopefully it's just not a long injury. It couldn't deal with that. Mark,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How's Schwarber doing? It's Hoagie Fest.
He hit like 5 or 6 home runs the first 2 weeks of June.
Good.
Kind of settled down now. Settled back to normal, but he started off June pretty well.
Hoagie Fest happened, and Schwarber's like, all right, now I can play baseball.
Yeah. He hit like 4 or 5 in a week or something like that. He was.
I don't watch enough. I need to watch more. I always have it on. I just don't watch it because it's like just something in the background, you know.
Yeah.
But
Mark,
all right,
it was great having you on, Mark. Glad you're back. Hopefully, we get some more with the 3 of us on here again sooner rather than later.
Just remind me that I need to yell at Miguel for having atrocious players to watch and teams to watch.
No problem. I will definitely remind you.
I'm so disappointed in both of you. 6th place, 6th.
Yeah, I'm being optimistic.
Optimistic. You said that the team you were interested to watch, the 6th most interesting team to watch is the Eagles.
It's teetering. It's teetering. I'm being realistic too. I'm being realistic.
If you're, I'm sorry. Ask any true fan of their team from that city. The team they want to watch is their team.
I still want to watch them. I'm going to watch them, obviously.
6th.
But I gotta dial it back a little bit. Got to see some more practice. Got to see like team out there. I do.
Podcast. You don't want to watch the Eagles. What's wrong with you? Something's wrong with you, my guy. All right. Well,
it's been a long off season already.
Night. It's been too long of an off season. You guys aren't even Eagles fans anymore. Well, I don't know what happened. It's crazy to me. I took a few weeks away. I come back and I don't have. We're on Squawking Eagles podcast with 2 non-Eagles fans.
It's weird. It's weird.
Something happened. Something's in the water.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right. Well, I got to get out of here. So it's a great night.
Good talking to you. As we always, Miguel's not here, but go Birds.
EAGLES. Eagles. Let's go.
All right. Talk to you later, Mark. Thank you.
You're welcome.